Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute?
Hey girlfriend, it's your girl, Kindall D. Well, mindset and intuitive coach, Kindall D. Back with the Hey Girlfriend podcast. And today we're going to be talking about something that I'm excited to talk about. I don't know why it took so long to talk about it. I think I've been talking about it in some previous podcasts, but I just kind of didn't really label it anything. So, shout out to one of the girls, the women I'm coaching. She brought up someone that she follows that decenters men, and how, she has the girl that she follows has a happy relationship, but she can care less about having a man. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. And I'm like, that's what it's called? I didn't know there was a title, because I could care less about what a man likes, wants, or thinks. I don't give a fuck. And it's just, and I love saying it. It feels so good to say that. And so this is what I'm talking about today, because I'm excited about it. And I already kind of feel like this. So I don't want to do too much fluff in the beginning. Let's just jump right in. So I feel like I got this way after going through my 20s, of where I was just basically a pick-me, where I was trying to be whatever I thought a man wanted, whatever I thought would make a man act right, whatever I thought, could please a man. I was doing it all. And if y'all have read my book, Toxic X Chronicles, John, I'm working on Sebastian. I promise you. I got some goals, and it's going to be out next year. Guarantee it. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. So, I was just all about trying to please him. And somebody commented like, there's a lot of sex in there and a lot of head giving. That's because I was all about trying to please his ass, and I wasn't even getting pleased. It was like men were the center of my goddamn universe. And it's like, making them the center of my universe was causing me to lose myself. And to make myself, and it made me feel so worthless, like without one. Even with one, I felt worthless, because it was like, it was never enough no matter what I did. And so that kept me trying to do more and more. And it kept me at the center of my damn world. If he didn't want me to wear too much makeup, I slacked off on it. If he didn't want me to dress a certain way, I wouldn't. If he didn't want me to go certain places, I wouldn't. It was all about what they wanted. And the whole time I was miserable. But I'm thinking like, maybe this is what I got to do just to have a man. And I feel like a lot of that came from my upbringing. And I was going to say my mom, but I think both, my mom and dad, how they raised me, and how, I don't know, I'm born in the 80s, so my parents are older. Some of you may relate to this and some of you may not. I'm not sure, but most of our parents from that age bracket, they were basically all about patriarchy. It was embedded in them. Even women, a lot of misogyny, even in the women. And it was like, it was always men, go out, hustle, work hard, provide for your family. Women, be a good wife, find a man, get married. That's where our worth lied. It was never like, women, go to school, be smart, do this, travel the world, have your own goals. It was never that for us, but it was just all about us making men the center of our life and being married the center of our life. And so I remember a lot of times growing up, my mom would be like, if we didn't clean up right, I don't know how you're going to ever have a man. You can't even clean up right. Or if I burnt the food or didn't cook or was lazy, quote unquote, to her standards, ain't a man going to ever want you if you act like that. That's all we ever heard. It was always about, you need to be this way and be womanly so that you can get a good man, so that you can get a man. That's all it was about. All the time is all we heard. And my dad didn't make it no better, because he was similar. And always talking about how, what men, how to be this way, don't be that way. Women shouldn't look like that. You know, a woman shouldn't be this or that. And he did a lot of the same things. He was very misogynistic as well. And I remember distinctly one time he was like, you know, the women can't do what the men do. Like, men can go out to the club and do whatever they want. Women can't do that. And so that was all my life, you know, was about, was centering men some kind of way. And so I feel like a lot of us, a lot of women, we have made men the center of our world, and having one, and having a relationship, and having marriage, all because of how we were brought up, how we were, you know, taught to be. And when you have that in your mind, it's hard to not really see a life for yourself or live a life for yourself. And so I went out into the world, on top of, you know, not being, you know, raised with a lot of the things that I needed, like a lot of love, emotional support, emotional availability from my parents. On top of that, went out into the world trying to find a man because I needed one to validate me. I needed one in order to feel like a woman. And so whatever a man wanted, I was going to be. And I was. And so I was a pick me, like straight up. And look how that got me. And so I just want to say that, y'all, if you're listening to this and you're like, but I want a marriage and all of this, it's fine. So what I'm saying is that decentering men is not about not having a relationship. It's not about never being married. It's not even about hating men. What it is about is basically you making you the center of your universe. That's whether you have a man or don't. Because best believe I'm married now, but I still am the center of my universe. He picked me, I guess, so to speak, or we're together because he likes how I do me. I wasn't worried about trying to please a man or be what I thought a man wanted, because that was leaving me not being myself. And so I started being more of who I am unapologetically, not really caring if a man would like it or not. If he didn't like it, okay, move out the way. There's somebody else that will. We got to stop believing that just because one man has a problem with how we look or how we do or something that we are, that, oh, it means I got to change. No, you got to change men. And so I stopped having that mindset. I started telling myself, I don't give a damn what a man thinks. And it sounds so crazy to say in a sense, but I don't care. And it's like, it really, that mindset really did change my life. Just not giving a damn what they think or want. And it's like, that allowed me to date more freely, with a more of a free type of spirit, and not so anxious and not so worried if he's going to like me, or not so worried if it's going to work out. And that right there changed my life, just how I dated, period. And so I started going in with that mindset, like, I'm just going to be me. If he don't like it, he's not for me. And then it's moving along, because it's like, it's not the end of the world if a man doesn't like you, doesn't want you, doesn't pick you. It's not the end of the world if you're alone. It's not. And we make it the end of the world because we feel like we need a man in order to make certain things come true in our life. I mean, yeah, you may need it for marriage and if you want kids, of course. But losing yourself is not going to get you there any sooner. It may, but what good is it to get all that, but you don't have you right there with it? What good is it? And so it's like, you might as well, you know, be whoever the hell you want to be, get the one that's for you, and call it a day. And it may come sooner or later. It's okay. I had to start realizing it's not the end of the world. And I'm going to tell you something else that really helped, that really changed my life, that really pushed me in the way and pushed me in the direction of decentering men. I'll never forget, after I was going through my last breakup from Sebastian. That's the second ex. You know, I got 2 toxic exes. John the first one, Sebastian's the second one, for reference here. So I was going through a breakup with him. I really, really wanted that man to change for me. I really wanted to be with him. I was so stuck on him because he was so attractive and he just sweet talked me and all of that. And I was stuck on him for a long time. I did a lot of dumb shit to try to keep him. And I was getting tired because nothing was changing. And he was just kept hurting me. And so I remember one year my friends came to me and was like, we want to go on a cruise and a trip to Miami and all of this. And I'm like, the first thing I thought, y'all, was to myself, I started to turn down like, I don't know, my boyfriend ain't gonna like that because, he was the insecure type. He tried to play it off, but he was the type to want me to sit around and not do anything and not hurt him or not cheat on him, but he could do it to me. And so that's the first thing that came to my mind. There I am, centering a man in my life. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know. And then I thought more about it, and I got back with him. I was like, you know what? I'm going. Because me and him were on the brinks, and I knew it was coming to an end. I just felt it. I was trying to slowly end it, and I didn't know how to, but I knew it was going to come to an end eventually. So I was like, yeah, I'm going. And so, lo and behold, yeah, we ended up breaking up right before the trip, like a few months right before. So we had to plan this trip in advance to get the plane tickets and all that. So we went on a trip, and I remember being on that trip. That was my first time like out of the country, first time on a plane, first time on a beach. It was my first for everything, and I was so lit the whole trip. Even my sister back home and her boyfriend at the time looked at the pictures and was like, she looked different. She happy, she glowing. I was just the happiest I ever been. I'm like, so there's so much more to life than a fucking man. There is so much more to life than trying to get a man to want me, trying to get a man to act right. Like, I want some different type of goals. And while I was on that trip, I started telling myself, I want to do this more. I want to see the world more. I want to travel more. I want to maybe move to Miami. I want to live on the beach. I want to live by the ocean. I started making goals that didn't pertain to me being a wife, a mother, and having kids and a man. Because I'm like, that can't be a goal of mine because I have no control over that. So why is that such a big part of my life when I have no control over when it happens? All I can do is control me and love me, care for me, make me the center of my world, and then have someone that wants to join in on it come join it. And that's how I started really looking at it, all because of that trip. All because I said yes to go, even though I was scared that my boyfriend at the time was going to have a fit, which he did. But I was like, I don't care. I went and had a good time. When I came back, I was changed. I still had a few things to heal. I ain't going to say, oh, everything was just better. I still had a few things to work on, for real, like a lot. But the main thing was I stopped centering having a man. I stopped making having a man my main goal. Why is that my main goal in life when there's so much more life to live? And then so I'm just saying, like, you can't go wrong making goals for yourself. And I remember right before I met my husband, I made a post on Facebook where I was like declaring my newfound, I guess, freedom, you would say. And I was like, all my life I had goals of being married by a certain age, having kids by a certain age. I'm almost 30 and none of that's coming true. And I was like, I have new goals. My goal is I want to live by the ocean. I want to follow my dreams of, I think I said writing or something or whatever. It was before I even had I've Been That Girl. And I was like, I just had a list of all the goals that did not involve a man. It all involved bettering my life. And that changed my life so much. And I started going for that. And I would say I started dating. I did start dating. But I had a different mindset. I did have to learn some lessons along the way of that. Because I was still had like a slight anxious attachment and still had a little lingering part of me that wanted a man really bad. And so that took some time to work out, but I feel like me dating and me realizing that this is not going to work this way, it forced me to change it. And so I started going in with more of a I don't care attitude. And it's like, not I don't care, like I'm not going to try, but I started going in like, I don't care if you like me or not next. And it felt good because I'm like, I'm not in this anxious space anymore. I'm not in this space of trying to make a man like me. I'm not in this space of trying to make a man act right. I'm not in this space of begging for what I know I deserve. I'm not in this space of just making a man my whole goddamn world, trying to please him and lose myself in the process. And so I just began to understand that I can really, really lead a happy and fulfilling life without a man. Like, I don't have to have a man to have a satisfying and complete life. I can do that all on my own and have someone to join in. That's how you have to kind of look at it. Look at it as someone joining in. And I do recall after every disappointment, and like if a connection didn't work out or whatnot, if a dating didn't work out, I would take a break because I'm like, okay, I need to regroup. Something's not going right. Let's regroup. And I just got happy with being alone. Like, I really enjoyed my life. I feel like it's easy to center a man in your life and having a relationship and having marriage in your life when you don't really like your life. If you don't really enjoy your life or are not really happy with how it's going, it's easy for you to use having a man as like a band-aid because you feel like maybe that possibly will make you happier, make you feel better, make you feel more fulfilled. Some kind of way, be that missing piece, and now your life is complete because you have someone. But you don't have you. It's not okay to get in a marriage, to get with a man, and then you're all about just pleasing them. What about you? You have to realize that you're special too. You have to realize that you have a life too. And if a man cannot see that your life is worthy, that your dreams and goals are worthy, if he can't see that you being you is worthy, that you doing what makes you happy can make him happy, if he doesn't see that, he is not a good man. Just flat out. He's not. He's going to make your life a living hell. I just straight up. Because it's going to be all about what he wants only and you doing what he wants. So that's something that really helped me to decenter men because I'm like, I don't want another man like that. I don't want to be a pick me and I don't want the men that pick me's. And so that's some logic for your ass, basically. Because I started realizing that doesn't do me any good. And I remember when I met my husband, he's totally different than any man I've ever been with. And it's because I decentered men from my life. And I'm not saying decenter a man from your life to get a man. I'm saying decentering men from your life so that you can get your life, so that you won't lose yourself, so that you can make you the center of your universe. Because you're going to always need you in and out of a relationship. And it's something that I had to realize. And so once I got me together, I started getting my life together, what I want to do, what is important to me. I started dressing how I want, started wearing how much makeup I wanted, hair how I want. Instead of like, men don't like a lot of makeup. Men don't like women that wear their cleavage out. Men don't like, I get so sick of hearing these rules about what men like and don't like. That's not speaking for every single man. It's like, why are we trying to please a collective of men that don't all think the same? Why are we trying to please them? It's like, why are we bending to what they want? Be who you want to be, and then find a man that enjoys it. It's as simple as I can put it. And so once I started really getting to me, living how I want to live, it's like I'm not going back. And if you can't accept me living my life the way that I want to live, doing me, being free, then you're not for me. Because love is liberating. Love is being free. Love is feeling free. You should not feel constricted. You should not feel like you're bound or you're like on a lock and chain because you're trying to please someone. You should never feel controlled. That's not love. And so being with my husband, it's like free. And I remember a lot of the times it was always what came out his mouth is, I just want you to be happy. And he didn't care what I did. He just wanted me to be happy. He enjoyed seeing me feeling fulfilled, feeling happy. He got everything I needed to do this dream. Like, I'm working on a computer that he got me in an office that he, everything was, he included me, not included me. He made space for me to be who I am because that's all he wanted was someone that just enjoyed being who they are. And it was never like, I don't like that, I don't like this. He could care less. He just liked me and want me to be me. But see, it's hard to find someone like that if you're making men the center of your life. If you're making a man the center of your life and making what he wants the center of your life, making whatever a man wants, you're going to keep getting with the men that are going to try to control you and say, okay, well, since you want to make me the center of your universe, it's going to be this, and this, and this. And you're going to lose yourself. And you don't deserve that. Like, I don't want women to feel like that. And I don't even like seeing some married women feel like that, to where all their life, to where the only thing they are is just a wife and a mother. Like, okay, that's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking that away from them. But it's like, who else are you? What else do you have going for yourself? What other dreams do you have? What other goals do you have? Because best believe, even being in a relationship, even in a marriage, you're still going to need yourself. You're still going to need to enjoy your life and live a happy life. What, you're going to just take on his life and live life like he wants you to live it? No. So that's why I say you start now. We're about to move into 2023. I want y'all to start now. Start decentering men from your life. I'm going to give you some concrete steps that could really, really, really help. So, first of all, if you want to decenter men, I would say the first thing that could help to do is to, y'all gonna hate me for this. Don't get me. But delete the dating apps. Delete the dating apps. And why I'm saying this, hear me out. Just stop dating. Just not, I don't want to say stop dating. Like if a man asks you out and you seem interested, okay, yeah. But I'm saying stop searching. Just stop. Just take a moment. I'm not saying you're going to be this way forever. I think a lot of women tend to think like, oh, if I don't date, then I'm going to be alone forever. No. And if you are, is that such a big deal? Like, would you rather be by yourself, happy and trying to get your life together, or with someone and trying to and making them your whole life? So what I'm saying is, I promise you, just try it. Like, if you want something different, you have to do something different. That's one major big thing that I relied on heavily when I was dating. I relied on my own wisdom and my own growth, and I would reflect after each time I was let down. I'm like, okay, it's time to do something different. And so, even between time, I would delete the apps. I would stop dating and reflect. So I'm saying, I'm challenging you, moving into 2023. That's the first step. Stop with the dating apps. Stop trying so hard. Stop trying to find someone. Stop pressuring yourself to hurry and get someone. Stop it. Just stop. Because when you move from that sense of desperation, of really wanting someone, it causes you to settle. It causes you to miss red flags. It causes you to just take anyone and try to make them be the one. Like, okay, I can make this work. I can work with this. It's just, you don't want that. And so just stop. And during that time, if you're not dating, focus solely on you and your goals. Get you a goal book. Get you, I just got me one off of Amazon, $19.99. And it's a goal book. It has like things that you can share, that you can show gratitude for every day. Goals you may have. And I'm getting that because I'm like, it's some things I didn't accomplish this year that I definitely should have, because I didn't work on it, because I sabotaged myself. So I'm saying, that's what you're going to do. Number one, stop dating. Just stop searching. Stop with the dating app. Stop. That's making men the center of your life because you're so focused on getting one. Just start living your life. And you may meet one in the long time. And while you're living your life, you may just meet one. Not saying that's why you're doing it. So take that off your mind. Just think about that. You are trying to make you the center of your world. You are trying to get back to you. You are just trying to see what it's like to be alone. You are just getting yourself together. Get your own goals. What do you really want for yourself? Like, it could be small, big, whatever. Do that instead. And so, when you do that, you are just basically getting back to your life, or you're focusing on your life. Number two, what you can also do is, like I said before, where I just got out and enjoyed my life. Enjoy your life. Like, stop waiting on a man to enjoy your life. I know some single women that have bought houses, and I love that for them. Because for a long time, I used to hear women say, I got to get a husband first to buy a house. No, the hell you don't. If you want a house now, why wait? Why? What are you waiting for? Just do what you want to do for yourself. Make your life like it's important. Something about self-care that I want to mention is that I am enjoying doing more self-care. Like, some extra self-care that I've added recently was just eating better and exercising and really taking care of my health. And it makes me feel special and important to me, because I'm like, I'm really giving a damn about me. And so that's what you do. Instead of you All the things that you thought that you had to wait on a man to do it now. Like, whatever it is. Start caring about you now. Start doing what you've always wanted to do in a relationship. Do it now. You know, even like date yourself. That's what it can be like. Like, consider dating yourself. Like, taking yourself places, doing stuff with your own self, buying your own self flowers, whatever. Just start doing it. Treating yourself like you're dating yourself, like you give a damn about yourself. And that would fill you up. I know you're like, oh, that is just not what I want. And it may be hard to try to start it first, but I'm telling you, you got to do something different if you want something different. I can't stress that enough. Let's see. What's another thing I did? Number 3. I said this before, but I'm just making sure it's in this step. Number 3, live a fulfilling life. Do whatever it takes to make sure your life is fulfilling and feels good to you. Whatever it is, like whatever you love, find new hobbies. I'm thinking about joining Pilates soon. So, and that's something I've never done. And I'm like, okay, that's something new, but I'm going to try it. Try something new. I'm telling you, that's like self-discovery. This is what number 3 is all about. Self-discovery. Discovering more of yourself can be very fulfilling. And you notice all of this is basically just like really building you up, really putting your all into you, really making you the center of your universe. And this will slowly start to change how you view what a man wants, because you'll start to have the attitude I had, like, I don't care now, like, I love my life. He don't like it, oh well, I love this life I'm living. He can come in and join. If not, he ain't for me. I'm not about to be all about pleasing a man again. And so when I started, living a fulfilling life on my own, I remember some of the things I did was I started eating at restaurants I've wanted to go to. Like, of course, you want a man to take you out, but I didn't have one at the time to take me out. So I would order out in my favorite restaurants that I wanted to try, like local restaurants. I was getting into the local restaurants instead of so much of the chain restaurants. And I was like, let me try to eat in more local places. And so I started eating, around, doing stuff like that. Just really spending time with myself and being okay with being alone. And that really filled my life up with a lot of happiness. Because I'm like, I can really live a good life without a man. And I had to start getting used to that. And when you hear getting used to that, you're probably thinking, that means never having a man. And that's why I'm saying you're still centering men. And I slowly stopped centering them in my life. And I'm like, I can live a good life without one. And you want to live a good life without one, so that when you do get one, it's not one based off of what they want and you're losing yourself. It's based off him enjoying seeing you live your life. You're coming together, and there you go. And you're still enjoying your life. And so you're not so focused on pleasing him. You're not so focused on trying to keep him. You're not so focused on just trying to please that person. You're more so focused on just... Well, no, you're not more so focused on anything. You're more so not afraid of anything like that, of losing a man, because you have your own good life to fall back on if all else fails. That's something that I want to mention. That's something I want to mention that I almost forgot about. So, a lot of women ask me, how am I not afraid to move on again? How was I not afraid to love again after, going through it for so long with these toxic relationships? And it's because I stopped decentering men. Like, in a nutshell, when I really think about all the little advice I've given you on all the other previous podcasts, all of it was basically me just really loving on me, really getting to me, really getting me back. And I just remember really making a life for myself that I enjoyed. I remember I got a good job and I moved into my townhouse. The townhouse was originally going to be for me and an ex, but I ended up finding out some things and I didn't let him move in because I'm like, I'm not going to this again. I didn't break up with him, but I didn't let him move in. So I'm like, that's one step in the right direction of me doing right. But I remember I was like, and he used to say stuff like, you think you better than me, you think you all that because you got your little townhouse. And the whole time I'm like, I got it for us, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, I do think I'm the shit because I worked hard for this. And I'm like, and I never threw it in his face. I really did it for us. But that just goes to show you, some men are just too insecure to really be with you because they don't feel good about themselves. And yeah, so I really just made a good life for myself. And that helped me to not hang on to men so much and not make them the center of my life so much. Because I'm like, once you make a man your whole life, or having one your whole life, like you make that man the center of your world, if anything happens, then that's the end of your world, because he's taken your world away, because his world was your world. And so that's why you hang so tight to him, because you're either using him for validation, for a self-esteem boost. You're using him because you've always wanted a man and now you're trying to keep one because you don't want to be without, because you don't want to be alone, whatever it is. So when you make them the center of your world, you're going to be anxious with them. You're going to hang on tight to them. You're going to tolerate shit you probably shouldn't tolerate. And so once I just really made my life worth living, made my life very happy for me, did things I wanted to do, included things in my life I wanted to include, and just really got myself together the best that I could. I knew, and I got okay with being alone. That's another thing. I knew that if it didn't work out with one, it wasn't the end of the world for me. It wasn't a traumatic ending. Like, slowly, I realized that after each little breakup or each, relationship, budding relationship gone wrong, or it didn't work out, I realized I was okay each time. I would be a little sad sometimes. I really wanted to work, but it would be quickly. I get over, like, okay, what's next? Because I'm like, I had to realize and remember, I still have my life. I still got a good life to fall back on. I still got me. I'm going to be okay. Who's next? And I started having that attitude. So each time, after each little disappointment or breakup or whatever, I got stronger and stronger and stronger. And in between all of that, I remember, like I said, taking those breaks from dating, reflecting, just being to myself, remembering how my life was before him, remembering how good my life can be, remembering who I am. And so I use all that to reflect and just center me back into my universe, make me the center of my world. And so that's what I was doing during those breaks, instead of just dating back to back to back. I mean, I'm telling you, you got to do something different. Quit being so afraid that you're not going to meet someone. You will, eventually. But until then, you got to make sure that you straight. A man in a relationship is not meant to save you. It's not meant to just give you, kids or a husband. It's not meant for you to get anything from. It's meant for you to bring something to it so that it can be, it can multiply. So you have to quit looking at it as like, it's something that you're trying to get something from it. Because that's not what it's about. You have to bring something to it. And what are you bringing to other than your needs for validation, your need for being a wife, your need for having kids? You're just bringing your needs to it instead of an actual authentic person. And I'm going to be honest and tell you this, like, I feel like when I was dating, a lot of times I would run some of the men off because I was bringing mostly my needs. And that's because I was making them the center of my world. And a lot of men that are actually decent don't want to be the center of your world because that's a lot of pressure on them. They want you to actually bring something to the table, so to speak. I don't like that bringing something to the table thing, but they want you to actually be you and bring you and not just your need for them, And so I feel like I did run a lot of decent men off when I was dating, after I dated the toxic exes, when I was dating just the better quality men. I feel like I did. I feel like that was my problem. And they could sense that I was just in a desperate need for just having a man and a husband. And that's all I wanted. And it was like nothing else to me. So I had to get my life together. I had to get me together. And yeah. And I met my husband when I wasn't even thinking about meeting a man. I was dating, but I started caring less about it. Like, I don't care if it happens or not. Like, I just stopped caring so much about it. Stopped being so desperate for it. I didn't give a damn. And I was just living my life because I'm like, I got a good life, so it don't matter. And so when you have the attitude of it don't matter, I promise you, it changes everything. It changes everything. Do I have anything else to add to this? Not really, but all I can say is just try your best during this break, going into 2023, of not making men the center of your world, making relationships the center of your world. Try to make your life as fulfilling as possible, girlfriends. You have to feel 100% happy with your life, happy with every aspect of it, happy with who you are, happy with being alone, happy with just how your life is going. I'm not saying you have to have everything you want and meet all your goals. I'm not saying that. I'm saying at least happy that you're on the track to getting to your goals. At least happy that you have goals that you want for yourself. At least send a map out of what you want for you and your life. So that's something that I want to end the note on. That's like the last thing. It's just that you have to really get happy with your personal life. That can be either changing jobs, feeling good in your actual career path, picking up a new hobby, thinking of a new goal. If you want to travel, traveling. If you, whatever it is that's on your list, think about what you really want. Whatever's been nagging you the back in your head, whatever you've been thinking of. What do you want for yourself? Really go for it. Start, and that will make you much happier. Quit looking for a man to make you happy with your life. Quit looking for a relationship to make you happy with your life. Being a wife and having kids is not going to make you happy. If anything, you need to be happy already. You need to be full already so that you can add to being a wife and a mother. It's not the other way around. It's not you dependent on that to make you feel good and make you feel happy and make you have a fulfilling life. You have to have that already so you can have something to bring to that so that you can actually manage it. I know a lot of times we think, oh, this is going to make us happy because that's how we've been ingrained. Like I said at the start of the show, that's how we've been taught. We think that's going to make our life, but no, it's not. You're just going to be miserable. Yeah, that's the simplest I can put it. Miserable. So get to living your life, girlfriends. Get to doing you. Get to feeling okay with being alone. Get to feeling okay with just yourself, your life, with you, being happy about you, really loving you, really caring about you. And make a list of things that you want to do for yourself. And try to meet those goals. Start working towards meeting those goals. And then once you feel like you're on the right track, you're feeling good about your life, then date. And I promise you, like by the time you do date, after you've done all of this and you feel 100% about your life and feeling good, what you want is going to change a lot. How you feel about men is going to change a lot. Because I'm going to tell you now, something that I live by, and I say all the time, is that ask me if I care what a man thinks. I don't. Even now, being married, I don't care what a man thinks, what a man wants. I don't care. And I hate seeing a little posts about women asking men, what do you think about this? I don't care. Why do you care? I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter at all what he wants or what he thinks. That's just one man. He don't speak for all the others. What matters is what you want. And so, get like that, I promise you. Change your life. So, I think that's all I got for this podcast episode, girlfriends. So, remember, move it into 2023. Delete them dating apps. Stop looking so hard. Stop dating. I mean, if you're 100% happy with your life now, this message is probably not for you. You probably already have men not the center of your universe. But you know who you are listening to this. You know if you made men the center of your universe. You know if you're just always just so hard up and trying to find a man and worried if he's going to like you, trying to find the one and this and that, longing to be married and all of that. All of that is nice, but don't make that your main goal. Don't make being a wife and having kids your main goal. Make that that can be a back burner goal, so to speak. Like, you want that to happen, but what's most important is putting you at the forefront. You and your life, what you can do for yourself right now. Because why you're going to wait for that? So, I'm telling you, just take a break. Take the whole January. I'm going to say the whole January. Just take that whole month of dating your damn self. Take that whole month of trying to find ways that you can feel more fulfilled in your life. Take that whole month of not trying to date, not trying to look for a man, not thinking about having a man. Think about your life 100% being happy with your life. And until you feel 100% happy, don't date. Because it's not gonna go well for you. You want to feel confident and feel fulfilled and feel good about yourself before you date a man. It's hard to date if you don't feel confident in certain things. If I notice any woman that I'm coaching seems to lack confidence in dating, I tell her stop. Just stop. You need to work on your confidence, because you're gonna keep ending up with men that ain't shit, men that you're trying to please, or you're gonna keep making them the center of your universe. You're gonna keep looking over red flags. You're gonna keep ending up doing the same thing. So just stop. Stop dating so much. Just stop. And take a moment and work on you. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong at all. Loving yourself. You can't go wrong at all. Doing self-care. You can't go wrong at all. Living a fulfilling life. Making your life feel good to you. Okay? Just try it. And when you try it, I want you to report back. If you're on YouTube, report back and tell me how it went. Going into 2023, I'm telling you, that's the goal. Decenter men. All right? All right. So, that's all I got for this podcast episode, girlfriends. Until the next one. Peace out.